Why are you attempting to audition for a role in a play written by a committee of algorithms and depressed teenagers? You are currently engaged in the most fraudulent trade in human history. You are bartering your finite, non-renewable attention for a curated digital lie that doesn't even exist in 3 dimensions. Let's look at the cold, hard economics of your envy. Comparison is a market failure. Thomas Sowell noted that there are no solutions, only trade-offs. When you spend your morning scrolling through someone else's highlight reel, you are trading your mental clarity for a dopamine hit of inadequacy. You are comparing your internal raw footage to their professional studio production. It is a logical fallacy of the highest order. You are attempting to compete in a market where you have zero competitive advantage, being someone else. It is hilariously absurd to watch a biological miracle, a creature forged through 4 billion years of predators, ice ages, and brutal survival, sit on a sofa and feel less than because a digital avatar has a better filter on. Their avocado toast. We have become a civilization of voyeurs. Following influencers who are just as lost as we are, chasing a map drawn by people who never actually left the parking lot. Milton Friedman understood that true freedom is only possible through individual responsibility, but you cannot be responsible for your life if you are too busy trying to live someone else's. Everything you see is temporary, your body. Rental meat, it's going to leak, break, and eventually quit, your reputation. A group hallucination, your brand. Smoke. The game is rigged, the house always wins, and the dealer is laughing at you in Sanskrit. The only move that actually works is to wake the fuck up and laugh back. History was not written by the polished. Winston Churchill didn't offer the British people a wellness retreat. He offered them blood, toil, tears, and sweat. Malcolm X didn't check the polls before he stood for his humanity. He understood that self-reliance is the only path to respect. They knew that your individuality isn't a personal brand. It is your only leverage in a world that wants you to be a replaceable cog in a mediocre machine. You think you need more? You need another course, another guru, another level up? Bullshit. You're already whole. Right now, breath in your lungs, heart thumping like it's got somewhere to be. That is the only reality. Everything else is just spiritual window dressing. I've walked the road. I've seen the jail cells. I've felt the road grit in my teeth. Ivy had words trip and stumble in my mouth because my wiring doesn't match the script. Good. Those stumbles are my credentials. They are proof that I am in the arena, marred by the dust, while the cold and timid souls sit in the stands and whisper he can't. Stop waiting for a permission slip. The algorithm wasn't designed to make you great. It was designed to keep you numb until you're too paralyzed to act. Every minute you spend wishing you had their life is a minute you are using to build yours. Here is your directive. Close the apps, put the phone in another room, sit in the silence until the comparison anesthesia wears off, identify your nindo your own way, and double down on it with mechanical ferocity. If you fall 8 times, you rise 9 times heavier with the data of the dirt. You are a ghost driving a meat machine. Stop performing for other ghosts who will forget you by Tuesday. Burn the illusion, claim the ashes, be kind as an act of war against a world that wants you bitter. Love like the universe is taking notes on the back of a napkin. Laugh because the joke is on you and you're finally in on it. Own your shit. The lights are eventually going out. Make sure you gave the world a reason to remember yours were on. Move. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that's been on my mind a lot lately. It's this idea of change, of things not lasting forever. It sounds a bit heavy, right? But stick with me because I think there's something incredibly powerful and liberating in this concept. We spend so much of our lives trying to build things that last. We want the forever job, the forever relationship, the forever home. We crave stability and certainty, and that's completely natural. We're wired to seek safety, but what happens when we hold on too tightly? What happens when the fear of losing something prevents us from truly enjoying it? Think about a beautiful sunset. You don't get angry that it's going to end. You don't try to bottle it up and save it for later. You just watch it. You experience the colors, the light, the feeling of that specific moment. You appreciate it precisely because you know it's fleeting. What if we could bring that same mindset to other parts of our lives? The truth is, everything is temporary. This season of your life, the people around you, the challenges you're facing right now, even the good times, they will all pass. And that's not a sad thing. It's a call to action. It's a reminder to be present, to be fully engaged with what's right in front of you. This idea of impermanence is the ultimate permission slip to be yourself. Think about it. If nothing is permanent, then failure isn't a permanent stain on your record. Rejection isn't a life sentence, that awkward thing you said last week. Nobody will remember it in a year. We build up these huge mental prisons based on what other people might think or what might go wrong. But in the grand scheme of a constantly shifting universe, most of it just doesn't matter as much as we think it does. So what does it mean to live authentically in a world that's always changing? It means letting go of the script. It means you don't have to be the person you were 5 years ago or even 5 minutes ago. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to change your mind, to pursue a new passion, to walk away from things that no longer serve you. Your identity isn't a fixed statue. It's a flowing river. I know it's easier said than done. We get so attached. We get attached to our plans, our expectations, our vision of how life should be. And when reality doesn't match that vision, it hurts. We feel like we've failed. But what if we saw it differently? What if every unexpected turn wasn't a detour, but just a different part of the path? One of the biggest traps is waiting for the perfect moment. We tell ourselves, I'll start that business when I have more money, or I'll travel when the kids are older, or I'll tell them how I feel when the time is right. But the clock is always ticking. The perfect moment is an illusion. The only moment we are guaranteed is this one right now. Living authentically means being honest with yourself. What do you truly want, not what you think you should want? What makes you feel alive? What are you curious about? Sometimes we're so busy fulfilling roles, the good employee, the responsible parent, the supportive friend, that we forget to check in with our own soul. Take a minute and ask yourself, what is one thing I would do if I wasn't afraid of what others would think? What is one thing I'm putting off for a better time? The answer to that question is a clue. It's a breadcrumb leading you back to your authentic self. Embracing impermanence doesn't mean being reckless or not caring about the future. It means understanding that the best way to prepare for the future is to live fully in the present. It's about building a strong inner foundation, resilience, self-compassion, and curiosity so that you can navigate the waves of change without being knocked over. When you stop fighting the current and learn to flow with it, something magical happens. You find beauty in unexpected places. You develop deeper connections with people because you're not taking your time with them for granted. You become more courageous because you know that even if you fall, the ground beneath you will eventually shift and you'll have a chance to get up again. This is your life. It's a unique, unrepeatable, and temporary collection of moments. Don't waste it trying to be someone you're not or waiting for a future that may never arrive in the way you imagine. Be messy, be brave, be honest, change your hair, quit the job you hate, start the podcast, write the book, tell someone you love them. Apologize, forgive yourself, start over. Every single day is a fresh page. The story isn't written yet. And remember, if you're struggling with these feelings, or if the idea of impermanence feels more overwhelming than liberating, that's okay. It's a huge concept. Talking to a friend, a family member, or a mental health professional can make a world of difference. You don't have to navigate these deep waters alone. There is strength in seeking support. So my challenge for you this week is this. Find one small way to embrace impermanence and live more authentically. Maybe it's trying a new hobby you've been curious about. Maybe it's having an honest conversation you've been avoiding. Maybe it's just taking 5 minutes to watch the clouds move across the sky, appreciating the moment for what it is. Let this idea of impermanence be your fuel, not your fear. Let it remind you that this moment is precious. This moment is all you have. So live it fully, and live it as you. Thank you so much for watching and for sharing this space with me today. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more conversations like this. Until next time, take care. Why are you attempting to be a second-rate version of a total stranger when the world hasn't even seen the first-rate version of you? You are currently engaged in a massive fraudulent exchange. You are trading your most valuable finite asset, your attention, for a curated digital lie that doesn't even exist in 3 dimensions. Let's look at the cold economics of your envy. Comparison is a market failure of the highest order. Thomas Sowell noted that there are no solutions, only trade-offs. When you spend your morning scrolling through someone else's highlight reel, you are trading your mental clarity for a dopamine hit of inadequacy. You are comparing your internal raw footage to their professional studio production. It is a logical fallacy. You are attempting to compete in a market where you have zero competitive advantage, being someone else. It is hilariously absurd to watch a biological miracle, a creature forged through 4 billion years of survival and brutal evolution, sit on a sofa and feel less than because a digital avatar has a better filter on their vacation photos. We have become a civilization of voyeurs, following influencers who are just as lost as we are. Chasing a map drawn by people who never actually left the parking lot, Milton Friedman understood that true freedom is only possible through individual responsibility, but you cannot be responsible for your life if you are too busy trying to audition for someone else's. Malcolm X didn't check the polls before he stood for his humanity. He didn't ask for a consensus. He understood that self-reliance is the only path to respect. Churchill didn't wait for a safe space before he decided to defy an empire. They knew that your individuality isn't a personal brand, it is your only leverage in a world that wants you to be a replaceable cog in a mediocre machine. Stop looking for a permission slip to be yourself. The algorithm wasn't designed to make you great. It was designed to keep you numb and scrolling until you're too paralyzed to act. Every minute you spend wishing you had their life is a minute you aren't using to build yours. Here is your directive. Close the apps, put the phone in another room, sit in the silence until you remember who you actually are when nobody is watching. Identify your unfair advantage, that specific skill or strength that feels like play to you but looks like work to everyone else, and double down on it with mechanical ferocity. Stop performing. Start producing. The world doesn't need more clones. It needs the uncompromised truth of an original get to work. Imagine waking up tomorrow in a world where AI writes code faster than any human, economies shift overnight, jobs we train for vanish or transform, and the only constant is change itself. Sound familiar? That's not a dystopian future, it's right now in 2026. Yet in the middle of all this chaos, there's one thing that remains unshakable: your purpose. Not a fancy job title, not a bank balance, but that deep why that gets you out of bed when everything else feels uncertain. Today, I want to talk about how to discover or rediscover that purpose, and how to live it gives you direction, resilience, and hope no matter what the world throws at you. The anchor in the storm, Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, survived unimaginable horror by holding on to meaning. He said, "Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose." Think about that, the circumstances. They change, AI disrupts industries, economic tides rise and fall. But when you have a clear sense of what truly matters to you, those storms don't define you. They test you, refine you, and sometimes redirect you towards something even more meaningful. Purpose isn't a luxury for calm times. It's the compass for uncertain ones. It turns anxiety into action, confusion into clarity, and survival into thriving. Step 1, discovering or rediscovering what truly matters. Purpose starts with brutal honesty about yourself. It's not found in comparison or trends, it's uncovered through reflection. Here are powerful questions to ask yourself. Grab a notebook later and answer them honestly. What activities make you lose track of time? That's often where passion hides. What breaks your heart about the world, and what would you fight to fix? What are your core values, the 2-3 things you'll never compromise on, even when it's hard? If money and judgment didn't exist, how would you spend your days? Looking back from your 90-year-old self, what legacy do you want to leave? What stories do you want people to tell about you? These aren't fluffy questions. They cut through the noise. Tools like the Japanese concept of ikigai can help visualize it, the sweet spot where what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for all overlap. It might not be one grand calling. It could be raising kind children, mentoring others in Your field, creating art that heals or building sustainable solutions in the AI era, the key? It feels like this is why I'm here. Step 2, aligning daily choices with your deeper why discovery is step 1. Living it is where the magic happens. Purpose isn't a destination. It's a filter for decisions in an uncertain world. When AI automates routine tasks, your purpose helps you pivot toward uniquely human strengths, creativity, empathy, connection. When economic shifts hit, your purpose reminds you that security isn't just money, it's impact, relationships, growth. When chaos feels overwhelming, your purpose grounds you. This choice aligns with my values or it doesn't. Simon Sinek reminds us, people don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. The same goes for your life. When your daily actions flow from your why, you build momentum. Small, consistent choices compound into a legacy. Start simple. Each morning ask, what's one thing I can do today that moves me closer to my purpose? Protect time for what lights you up. Protect it fiercely. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your why, not just your what. The uplifting truth, purpose evolves, and that's beautiful. Purpose isn't fixed. It grows as you do. In the AI era, it might shift from building things to guiding humans through change. In economic uncertainty, it might deepen into community, resilience, or innovation for good. That evolution isn't failure, it's proof you're alive and adapting. So here's my challenge to you today. Don't wait for certainty to find your purpose. Find your purpose to create certainty. In a world of rapid change, the people who thrive aren't the ones with all the answers, they're the ones with a clear why. They weather storms because they know where they're headed, even if the path twists. You have a masterpiece inside you, a unique combination of passions, gifts, values, and potential impact. The world needs it now more than ever. Take the first step this week. Sit with those questions. Write your why. Then live it one aligned choice at a time. Because when you live on purpose, uncertainty doesn't diminish you. It becomes the canvas for your greatest story. You've got this. Let's go build that legacy together. Thank you.